Episode 9, designing the client journey from hello to raving fan.
Yes, please. Welcome to Curated and Crafted. We're your hosts,
Dominique.
and Kinsey, two women building brands, businesses, and lives with soul. Here we pour out the real stories behind luxury brands, unforgettable events, and the mindset it takes to build something that lasts. No fluff, no filters, just the craft, the courage, and the conversations that matter. So grab a drink, get inspired, and let's craft something worth remembering.
I like that. Okay, personal check-in, the pour. So jumping right into it, Kins, the client journey. What's one recent client moment when you thought, like, this is exactly why we put so much effort into the journey?
You know, I mean, there's so many that definitely hop in, but I think one, because the topic is creating from the hello to raving fans, right? And so it's a client that we've worked with a couple times now. So that just shows the growth of the initial intake, being there for them, finding out what they're wanting. We'd be working with Glossy and Lori Harder. She had a product that she wanted to bring an activation to, so it became an experience. And from start to finish, she gave us her input. We had creative freedom, brought something to life where not only was she a fan, but the people who experienced it became fans and then asked us to do it again the following year. So for me, like, there isn't anything more than you want from that, of saying, I really loved
Yes,
what
again,
you
please.
did, and do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
so
love
to
that
me,
feeling.
that's kind of what came to mind when you asked.
So for me, when it comes to wedding planning, they aren't really repeats. So it's like a constant fight for new acquisition of new customers and new raving fans. But when in the wedding game, it's kind of like, you got anything else? You got any friends? You know what I mean? But
Totally.
And of course, you create raving fans and they tell all the people about you, and word of mouth is huge in the wedding space because of that reason. And you've even seen it, right? Like, we'll be like, oh, we were at this person's wedding, and then they told all of their friends, and we were at all of their weddings. So we know all the guests from like 6 weddings, right? Yeah. We've had that a lot. But for me, when I either get on site or I hear our clients say, like, I know I needed you, but like, this is next level. Like, once we get into it, or when we get on site and they're just like, the weight falls off their shoulders. They're like, oh, they're here. They've got it. Or, okay, I feel good. Like, that's those moments, like those little things for me that I'm like, that's it. That's everything. And I'm like, it's also the text of, I'm spiraling right now. Can I just call you really quick?
Right.
I'm like, that resource of you not spiraling because all you needed is a second to chat it out. I'm like, that's where I'm like, oh, we've got raving fans.
What about proposals? Because I know you guys do a lot of proposals.
Yeah.
And back in the day when I was dating, getting proposed to, this whole proposal thing was not a thing. Or if it was, I had no idea. Like,
Totally.
And it's kind of, that's part of what has evolved over the years. But you do a lot of those. So how does that?
So when I started Soul Agave, I knew I wanted to do the hardest things. And the hardest thing was weddings, because it's not just an event, it's such an emotional event. And so you have to get wholeheartedly dropped into it, right, with them, right? Like, you and your clients have to be really close. Now, on the corporate side of things, it's a little bit more B2B. It's not so personal to them typically. Now it is their babies, right? But there are times where, like, here's a budget, go for it. I don't really care, right? And that's great. That's that creative freedom piece. But with the weddings, they want their hands in it. The brides we attract are A-types. They want their hands in literally everything. But when I was starting Soul Agave, I knew exactly what type of brides I wanted to work with. And I was like, well, what can I niche out and do differently to attract those kind of people? And I was like, that's it. I'm going to do proposals.
But that's typically the groom that reaches out, right?
Correct. Which is like even crazier, because I'm planning a proposal for a girl that I haven't even met yet. And if I knock it out of the park then, before I even talk to them, it's a shoe, like a foot in the door of, hey, we can also plan your wedding. And that happens more often than not.
For sure.
So that's a
raving fan.
Yeah, literally. And it's also a lot, very much more nerve-wracking to plan for the gal and then using their other partner to drag the information out to make sure that we execute it in the way that they think. But that was a lead strategy. But if that's really it, like when it comes to weddings, because other than that, you've got to fill that funnel
All the time.
constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Which is why we were like branching out into other things. And which is why like when corporate gigs come around, we don't necessarily advertise that we do them, but it doesn't matter. We can really plan anything at this point. But yeah, it's weird. It's a weird industry to be in the wedding space.
Yeah.
Now, I think for not everyone experiences that, right? Like photographers, like in the wedding space, they can photograph their wedding, and if they're open to the rest of the work, they might be calling them once a year to do like family photos,
for sure,
or referring them to all their friends, or vice versa. But I'm like, it's much different in the wedding game. I'm like, yeah, call me at your 5-year anniversary or 10-year vow renewal.
Vow renewal.
But
Exactly.
if we're traveling, I'm coming.
When you think about the client journey, what moment feels the most rewarding to you personally?
Feels most rewarding, like, and at any point of the journey, right?
Yeah.
I think when you initially get the sale is really rewarding, but it's also, I think, the most rewarding at strike on the event times, because when you're like, we've made it through, we've made it.
Yeah.
All of the pre-wedding anxiety thing is done. Everyone is super duper happy. The client's drunk and on their way home.
Right.
And we're cleaning up candles. Like that's the, let's throw on some badass music. We fucking did it.
Totally take the shoes off and we're just cleaning up, but doing it with a smile.
Yeah.
Because we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the next day when I have to really clean everything up, I'm not really smiling, putting the inventory back on the shelves and cleaning everything. But no, that most rewarding point for me is watching them enjoy their day the exact way that you envisioned it in your head and that you planned. And of course, little things go here and there, but like at the end of the day, and you witnessed all of that, the year plus that you spent planning with these clients, you've gotten so close. And it's also bittersweet because you don't really talk to them after that.
Yeah.
It's like our goodbye, and it's like sometimes they're crying when they're leaving. So they're like, wait, we don't talk to you anymore. This is really it for us. We kind of like break up, right? It's like a soft breakup. Not like they can't access me, but it's we don't talk every day anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's the most rewarding, I'd say.
That's amazing. Never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it's a weird emotional game as a wedding planner.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I was like, I want to do the hardest version of event planning, and that's why I think it's the most difficult, because it's so emotional along the way.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna be branching out a lot into really immersive experiences that we're planning. So we want to dabble in the retreat side of things, the mastermind side of things. Like that's where we're most excited about, where we can say, here's your brand, what experience do you want to put on, and what is the end result you want your clients or people to feel after the day or week they've had with you. That's where I think our next piece is going to be. We branch into that. Okay, Kins, what about you? So if I had to ask you the same thing, because we have so many different clientele that we work with on the liquid cuter side. So like, pick one, and like, where in the journey is it like most? Woo, I like that.
So twofold, I think. Obviously, when you kind of win the sale, you say yes, we want to move forward with you. Like that is like awesome, right? Yes. And then
we celebrate those people.
We do.
We just say every single one.
Yeah, you'll hear woohoos all the time.
Yeah.
You get excited to work with these and bring their vision to life. But I also, for me, it's when our team is on site at an event and we're getting like pictures or text messages or hearing from them after going, oh, wow, like they loved it.
Yeah.
There was, we nailed it. It was everything they thought of and then some.
Yeah.
So I think hearing the feedback from our team that they're bringing what we've brought in at kind of here at headquarters, like here's what we're planning, and then they bring it to life and go like, oh yeah, that was it.
Our experience makers.
Exactly.
I love that. And then to your point, when then we get photos, I'm like, oh, it's going the exact way that we knew here it would go, and then they did it, and then now they're feeling it, and then we get the I would say for liquid caterers, for me, because I'm not really involved as much on the sales side of things, I'm involved more on the operational side. Where I see it the most rewarding for us is those 5-star reviews.
100%.
Because I get those, and those come to my email.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and then when you read what they're saying, and then I can go back to what their initial inquiry was. And I'm like, from beginning to end,
Yep.
all the way through, and then what they're saying is like exactly what you want to hear of your team, of your people. The whole thing is
Totally.
that I think that's super rewarding for me.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
All part of the journey.
It really is. So going back to like first impression, first touch point to our clients. What is one thing that we do in our inquiry and proposal process that you think makes us stand out like right away? Because I think the way that we handle our leads is special. So walk us through that.
I think probably from the jump, asking them what their vision is and what they're wanting from the beverage experience, right? Having them think about that, and it's not cookie cutter for us,
Right.
and they may not know that quite yet. So then it's the initial email that we send once they fill out the inquiry, thanking them, sharing a little bit about who we are, also giving them our lookbook so they can see everything. Because if they don't know all the things that we can do, we want them to be able to go, oh wow, I didn't know. We hear that all the time. I didn't know you did this.
And this.
And this.
And this.
Yeah.
And this and this and this and this and this.
Right.
Shout out to our video lookbook, Kendra.
Yes.
It's fire.
Amazing. So I think that right there is the intro, kind of laying the foundation of who we are and what we do and what we can bring to the table, and all the years of experience that we've got you. I want you to feel 100% confident that whether it's a small to a large scale, we can handle it.
Love that.
So building that confidence and that trust right from the jump.
Totally. And the way that we've built our proposals, they kind of get to build the package they want. Which I think is very, very helpful.
For sure.
It also makes it easy to navigate when they get it. It lets them know how they can work with us, what it will look like, at what steps we're checking in with them. And then they get to build the package they want.
Absolutely.
And they can plug and play with the experience. And then they hear from our team and say, this is what you selected. This is what you are choosing. Is this where you're at? Let me help you walk you through this. Like,
Exactly.
blah, 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 blah. I think that's really special too. And it makes a really big first impression. Like, oh, 1, didn't know they did all of this.
Yes.
2, they responded immediately. 3, this is how easy it is to just pick what I want.
Correct. Like they're not pigeonholed that it has to be a certain way.
Yeah.
But then it's also really great how our team goes, great, I saw that you picked this, but like we're the gurus, right? Like, and I
Tell me
feel
about
like
your event.
educating them about, love that you want that, but due to the size of your event or the type, maybe we should move it. Like, what are your thoughts on if we did it this way, right? I want to share with you, for that guest count, we should probably have this many bartenders,
Right.
2 whatever it might be,
Yeah.
so that they understand, okay, like they're not just trying to win my business, they want my event to be successful, so all around. And I think that's
Yeah.
super important.
Yeah, pausing right here because I don't think enough of our clients and or people in the industry think about the bar experience enough
No.
or the beverage experience.
It's an afterthought most frequently.
Yeah, but it's also the most visited place the
100%.
entire night,
Yeah.
most likely at every event.
Yes.
It's also one of the biggest hindrances if it isn't handled correctly.
Correct.
Because everyone will remember I was in line at the bar for 9 years
Yes.
and never got a good drink,
Totally.
right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so us being able to show up to those conversations and say, what does your event look like? Let me walk you through the importance of the experience you're trying to put on and understanding like the caliber of the event.
Exactly.
And, oh, you're going to have 150 executives of your company in this room and you only have one bartender for 5 hours.
Right.
Let's have this conversation,
Yeah.
And
And
I know
have
your
those-
budget's here,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. And having those difficult conversations, because at the end of the day, you want the event to be successful. You want the guests to have a great experience. I also want to set my team up for success.
Correct.
If they don't have the right product or tools or enough, etc., because the client
didn't communicate.
didn't communicate or didn't select, right, then it puts them in a difficult situation and going, oh, well, sorry, this is the package, like
Yeah.
this is what they chose, and sorry, we don't have enough for you. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
that disconnect, and we need to bridge that gap where
Yeah.
we're saying, okay, for this event to go seamlessly, then this is what we need to make sure that you have
Yeah.
people.
I mean, even with planners, like we have conversations with planners that aren't even thinking all the way through for what the experience from the bar side is even going to be. And I can say that and myself because I'm having these conversations with planners and I'm in a weird position because I plan and I'm in that space. And then I work here and I understand the vendor side and I hear from planners and there are clients on this side. And so, for example, 200-person event for 4 hours, that's over 400 pounds of ice. Where are you putting that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got to go somewhere and it's got to stay cold.
Mm-hmm.
It can't beat in the sun all day if we're going to be here in Arizona. Having those, even that simple of a conversation, who's providing the ice, where is it going, and where's the spot so you don't have 900 coolers in your view.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And so like it's an interesting space. But we absolutely love our proposals and we take the time to build the templates so we can focus on the conversations.
Yes.
And so that the tech is good. Our team isn't spending time building out those proposals individually. We walk them through how to use it. They build it. And then it gives us the opportunity to focus on those conversations and guide them through it.
Yeah.
The best
building
way we
that
can.
relationship with the client, right? The client experience
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Because from first impression
impression.
is I've got you. What are you looking for? Let's figure it out together.
I can't believe there's a person on the other line of the phone. Like when they call, like, oh, somebody actually answered. I was like, yeah.
Oh, and when you're texting, it's a real person, you know, like it's actually us and we're responding. That's really cool. I like it.
Dom, how do you think luxury brands miss the mark at the first impression stage? Ooh.
I feel like I have a lot to say. I don't know if it's necessarily at the first impression stage, but specifically around that, I would say positioning themselves.
Okay.
Because if they don't take the authority and the stance of that luxury brand and luxury space, they're missing the mark in I'm branding myself as this way, but my experience is not matching. And from first impression, that has to be the same.
Yes.
Not halfway through. Like, for example, on the wedding planning side, if they're going to trust me with $600,000 of theirs, I better be from the get-go treating them in a way that they can trust me to do that, right?
Yes. Right.
Now working with product side and other luxury brands, I think that where they miss the mark in the beginning is the clarity and the vision that they have and not being able to really articulate it and communicate it. If you're not able to sit in that position of authority of what you want and how you want it to look, feel, operate, whichever, it's very hard for any of us to represent you well in that.
I think there's a lot of assumptions, like
Correct.
on that end, and it's not, like you said, shared or articulated properly. So the expectation, it's very difficult for the expectations to be
Correct.
outlined when they're not giving you, if they just anticipate, like, okay, like, here's
go
my
for
brand, you know the name,
Yeah.
figure it out. And you're like, and please do it for free.
Yeah. That part.
That part.
So many brands, which
That part.
to be fair, when you have the visibility, you can leverage the exposure.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. You can leverage your exposure, but you need to do it right. And you need to do it right from the beginning. Saying, this is what I'm asking of you. This is what the trade looks like.
Yes.
And this is a very clear understanding of what I'm asking you to do. And there's no random scope creep halfway through of them being, hey, I asked you to do this, but what I really want you to do is this. And then 6 times in between, I'm having you change it because I'm not clear from the beginning of what the fuck I want.
Right.
And that piece, I'm like, oh, you're luxury, but you're a mess.
Totally. And I feel like from that perspective, and don't get me wrong, if I understand being able to leverage working with certain brands, and we love that, and we do that all the time. I also feel like there needs to be that respect and that reciprocation of, okay, if I'm going to trust you to bring this brand to life in the way that I'm not telling you exactly how, that here's what we're going to give you for doing that for us. Do you know what I mean? I feel like
Correct.
sometimes that's...
Well, also filling like a consultation gap that isn't necessarily our role to do. Now, it's something we're great at, but it's not something we charge for either, because it's not really a product line. But that if we don't have that information, or if we don't have what we need, then we don't feel confident enough to execute. So we kind of have to like drag it out of them in a sense. And we do it nicely. We do it well. But it's the information we need in order to do our jobs, right?
What we've started doing and have become better at is asking those hard questions.
Yep.
Right? Like, okay, great. Like you get excited about wanting to work with these brands because you have a vision of how you want to bring it to life.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that they are aligned with what the brand wants. And sometimes you have to ask those difficult questions. And then, like you've said, they not necessarily haven't even thought of it. They're like, just go figure it out.
Yeah.
But those questions are really, really important. And so I think that that's
Yeah.
really something that's helped us in that space and align with those luxury brands and those types of activations.
Yeah. And I think the expectations of the costs of which those brands want those things built to life is a lot more than I think that they're used to seeing, if that makes sense. Because just because they're a luxury brand doesn't mean they have a luxury budget. Oh, because they're usually building as well. Like we're dealing with real businesses. It's not like because they don't want to give you the money. It's typically because, listen, I'm in a building stage. This is the budget I have for this event. This is what I'm working with. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to find the partners to do what I can do. Is it going to be you or not?
Yeah.
Right? Like
100%.
they're in the same business position as we are. And if we're going to say yes to something, we want to make sure we're showing up the right way.
Yeah.
We're able to execute on what they're saying. And then we're not also feeling burnt out and pissed off in the process.
Totally.
Because then we're not enjoying it anymore. Yeah. So definitely. Okay. Yeah. Luxury brands. And so Kins.
Yes.
What do you think the number one trust builder during the middle of the project? What does that look like for us?
I think a trust builder is like the check-in. We mentioned it briefly, but we do a check-in, obviously, depending on how far out the event is, because a lot can happen during planning events, right? Like timeline, guest count, their vision, color palette, whatever. Here it is, like they reached out. This is the inquiry. We're getting ready for a wedding, let's say, or a backyard party, whatever it might be. And this is what we think it's going to be. And then maybe they bring a planner on board, or maybe this or that. And it can be fine-tuned and changed. So during that check-in, it's to make sure, hey, how's the planning going? How, has anything changed? Where are you at? How
Guest
can we
count.
support, right? Guest count, super important. How can we support you? Because we don't want them starting to ever feel overwhelmed or like they have questions that can't be answered.
Right.
So that check-in, I think, is super important. More often than not, like, no, but then sometimes you get, oh, well, maybe I'm thinking of adding a signature drink or this or that. So awesome. Let's help you and guide you through that experience and what that looks like. So I think that is a key differentiator to build that trust, to let them know we're here. There's no silly questions at all. And then we're going to make this event
proactive.
amazing.
And it's guiding them through what it should look like, because like from what you were saying earlier, like we're the expert, we're the guide, we're the one that's supposed to remind you and tell you what's going on and why.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I think too.
What is an intentional detail you've added during an event or project that built huge trust with a client, even if they didn't realize it at the time?
Oh. So I feel like there's a lot of this in my world, because we need backup plans on backup plans, especially for the weather here. So that builds a ton of trust. Also, we ask so many questions, and sometimes like ridiculous questions. And I even lead off some of our planning calls with, just as a reminder, I'm going to be asking you questions that you might not think are relevant. You might not understand why, but I promise, whether it's now or in 6 months from now, I need the answers to what you're saying here. And you don't always need to have the answers right away, but something that we need to follow back on. But yes, I think it's anticipating needs before they ask, for sure. It's keeping them updated, especially on the wedding planning side. Anxiety creeps in when there's not too much going on.
Right.
They think they need to be busy always or stressed out always. So when it's calm and cool, they're like, why am I feeling like this?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
What haven't I done? What needs to be done?
Right.
Am I behind? Right.
And
Totally.
I'm like, no. First of all, check your portal. It'll tell you what you need to do.
Yeah.
But secondly, we will remind you if there's something I need you to do, but we've got it handled.
Yeah.
and keeping them updated.
Peace of mind, right? For sure.
Huge peace of mind. Huge. I also think when we're building our timelines, understanding the type of clients we have. Are they anxious? Are they good in front of crowds? Do they need me to build them in moments of where they get a break for real?
Right.
Because they get overwhelmed in front of people, or they don't like to be the center of attention,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be. Understanding them and who they are allows me to create the day for them that they're like, wow.
Which they wouldn't think of creating those moments
No.
or that space for them.
No, because they think they can get in their wedding dress in 10 minutes, but I schedule 45.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, no, trust me, it takes a lot longer than that. But things like that, where you build in buffer times, you create and build the day based on who they are. I think that really helps.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, so post project
Ooh, yeah.
to forever raving fan. How do you think businesses can turn one-time clients into raving fans? And what's the difference between just like wrapping it all up and like nurturing them?
For us, it's always, often we reach out, obviously, to our team. How did the event go? Any hiccups? Things of that nature, so that we're prepared for that follow-up with the client. But always a follow-up, making sure that things went smoothly, that they had a great time, asking for feedback, because we can't fix something if we don't know it existed. And then also asking for a review, right? Like if you had a
You've
great
got to
experience,
ask people.
ask for the review. And then that right there, them taking that action to do the review, you have a raving fan. Like that means, and then it's following back up with them down the road. Hey, we did your, Halloween party last year. We'd love to be a part of your celebration. Are you hosting another one this year, right?
Yeah.
How about a holiday party?
And can you track that? And can you do that? Can you schedule that now? Can you add a reminder to the project to follow up with them in 6 to 8 months?
Yes. So we're very, in that sense, proactive of trying to reach back out, because sometimes they're busy and they're like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like holiday parties are already starting to book now. I better get on your calendar so it's not too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes total sense.
What's one post-event client touch point you swear by that more businesses should adopt?
Okay, I do this for every event. And after every single event, I send the client an email saying thank you, of course. Like, hope you're still on cloud 9. And I ask for a review, of course. But what I also do to my clients and all of the vendors get their own separate emails, and I have a feedback survey.
Love that.
And I always request feedback. It gives them the opportunity to talk shit if they need to talk shit versus it being in a review too.
Yeah.
But I also, to your point, get to hear about things that happened on the events that I might not know about or should know about, right? And I really get to hear their immediate feedback, like right after following the event.
Yeah.
Now, what I think also is sending it really close to the event so they have the fresh memory, fresh feelings, still on the right mindset for it. Because if it happens too far down the road, it's kind of convoluted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not as fresh. But reading those is incredible because I'm asking the real questions that I want to know, right? And what I can actually do with the answers to those questions. And then they also kind of become content in a sense, because I can share what other people are thinking and how they feel about our brand, what they like about our brand, and also potentially what they don't like.
Yes.
And maybe it's something I want to fix, and maybe it's something I don't want to fix. But it's that feedback surveys, love them. And if they fill them out, they fill them out. But then if they don't, I always follow up and still ask for the reviews again. But yeah, the feedback surveys,
that's awesome,
are so good. So good.
Yeah. Amazing.
And I love to read those. But yeah, I think that following up post-event doesn't always have to be a pitch, right?
Yeah,
like
no.
it's gonna be.
It happens naturally. If it's supposed, if you did your job and you created that experience, you made client and or the people attending it feel something, that they were important. It's going to happen, and that's the best part. I think you asked a question. It's when guests from the event are having a great time, and that gets back to the client, whether it's a bride, the mother of the bride, a corporate planner, whatever it might be, then you know you have done your job and
Oh yeah.
it was executed better than you could have imagined,
Oh
right?
yeah.
It's when that trickle down and they're like, oh, Aunt Susan said that what
Oh, when you, as the wedding planner, if
Mhm.
I can, by the end of the night, I've won over all the aunties and the
Yeah.
moms. Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
golden because you know they're staring at you and you know they're judging you
Oh yeah.
and you know they're
Because they're like, I
watching
could have done this better.
every single thing you do, how you communicate, what you do. They're asking you questions. They are
Mhm.
paying attention. You know those aunties, you know those moms, those grandmas. And then by the end of the night, they're like, I am so impressed by you.
Yep.
You ran this day so well. Or
Mhm.
like, I want to take you home with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or can I have you at all of our events?
100%.
Like all of that is like, if
Music.
I win the aunties, I win life.
Ye-
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. And that in closing is like perfect. How do you know you have raving fans?
Yep.
You went over the aunties.
Yeah. And then you're building a full pipeline of raving fans because
Yeah.
they're going to go refer and send you back very similar people.
Absolutely.
Like if you get in the right crowds, they're sending you the same kinds of
Mhm.
people. Oh, I love that. All right. Anything else you want to add for our client journey of each touch point from beginning to end, or should we close it out?
Like, I think close up by it is the journey is so important because, like you said, it's not just creating that one time event. It's you want to create those raving fans so you have a pipeline like that, so you get to continue to work with them over and over and over again.
Yep.
Like, yes, please.
Yeah. And then you're building with them, you're growing with
Mhm.
them,
Yes.
and you're like kind of
Yeah.
known for being together.
Well, there was a conversation I had with a client yesterday. She's like, Kinsey, I went back through my emails because I know that I have communicated with you before just from talking to you on the phone. She goes, and I realized that you did my daughter's event my other daughter's event 4 years ago. And like to hear that. And I was like, oh, and now, and she went through this whole story of, I'm like, that's just magical. I'm like,
It
oh my
is.
gosh. I'm grateful you shared that with me because I was like, I remember seeing your name and I was like, this sounds familiar to me. And so we had that moment and I'm like, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
And then we work in a lot of corporate spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those corporate individuals then share and open doors for us in other ways because they learn so much about us that they're like, wait, you've got to hear about Liquid Caterers. They're doing X, Y, and Z over here. I think they can help you with this. Or, hey, you got to call Kinsey, talk to her about that. Dude, you got to talk to Dom, talk to her about that. Like,
100%.
that keeps happening. And that's what we want. Like, we want everyone to become raving fans. Yeah. And every time they hear of an opportunity that we might be able to execute on, they're throwing our name out. And
100%.
they're putting our name in the pot and give us the opportunity to show up in the same way we showed up for them.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, let's close it out. So that's it for this round of Curated and Crafted. The process is messy. The vision is worth it. Stay rooted, stay bold, and we'll catch you next time.
Yes, we will. Cheers.
Bye. Okay, that was great.
Love it.